Hey guys, today I'm going to have a series of short videos that I'm making that are a set of it's a set of three, and it's going to be about what is art and what is the relationship between art and abstract art, and then art and controversy. The first, and this is a review, is that one way to look at art is as mimesis, or the reflection of reality. It's like holding a mirror up to reality and seeing the reflection. So the reflection in the mirror is not reality. And you can also think of the mirror as kind of being distorted or a particular angle. Even the way that a mirror is framed, it is not reality. Um, and mimesis differs depending on two things: what the artist chooses to look at and how they choose to look at it. And they're only after an aspect of reality. Mimesis and art doesn't work if you were to do everything. So you focus on something and you focus on it a certain way. Um, so those two aspects. One is kind of like what you choose. The other is how you choose to do it. For example, if I choose to do kind of a picture of my face, oh, that's hard to do. Then, for example, I am emphasizing on my emotions. If I do it with my body while I'm moving, then I'm emphasizing action. By choosing one thing, I exclude the other, but I draw your attention to what I have choose. Secondly, the artist also chooses how to show those aspects of reality. This is where the tools of the artist, such as, for example, the principles of design, come in. You use those things to communicate something about your aspect of reality that you have chose. But what's kind of funny is by doing this, you're not showing reality, but you show a truth in reality. So a lot of times what happens is that someone will show us something that we don't normally look at, and then say something about it using the techniques of art that makes us learn about it in a way that we haven't before. In other words, the illusion helps make the truth. But the constant complaint at this point is, but photos are real. They're not interpretation. Photos are the real thing, but actually not. When you take a photo, you freeze it in a particular space and at a particular time. That is not reality. And you choose to have a particular angle and to choose a particular shot, and you don't put any context around it. It's also frozen in time, right? And you can extend this to movies, because movies do have an aspect of time, but the time is controlled by the director, the editor, and the actors, right? And it's not a whole life, it's a narrative of a part of life. And that part of life is emphasized. Like, for example, if we're seeing a movie about Hamilton, I know it's a musical, but the musical about Hamilton doesn't talk about, for example, if he has indigestion. We are only focused on the important parts of him as an artistic subject, and it's presented in a certain way. In this case, with drama and music. You can see also from the art piece that I have in front of you. Anytime that you take a picture, you're using all of the elements, the same elements that you make when you do painting, but you're doing it because of the time, place, and angle of your shot. But it has all of the same artistic elements. And as far as propaganda and commercial advertisement, though the choice of when and where and how you make your photo influences you just as much as, for example, political propaganda. All right, so I want you to take a second. The context of this is across, I believe this is either in Queens or Brooklyn, and in the background is the burning of the Twin Towers during 9/11. I want you to take just 10 seconds, and I want you to think of what is the meaning of this photo. Okay, when this photo was taken and published by Thomas Hopker, it was seen as a sense of a lack of concern by these young people who were having a wonderful day by the riverside, looking at what was one of America's greatest tragedies. However, context is everything. Later interviews with the people in the photo said that they were actually emotionally numb and they were having a discussion about what's going to happen in the future. They were kind of their posture was very casual because they were in the middle of a very, very long conversation about trying to process what happened, which they took as being very negative and needed to talk about. So the photos are not real because they have in a certain context. And to take a photo is to make an interpretation. So the photographer and the people who first saw it had one interpretation, but that wasn't the truth because the photo is not reality. So why art? What's the point of it? When you subtract certain things, you are able to focus on others, and you're able to communicate to other human beings in how you choose to portray them. So, for example, take Google Earth or Google Maps. Neither one, the map is not the territory. Neither one is the real thing, but they emphasize different things and they're used for different reasons. For example, Google Maps does street signs and amenities, and then Google Earth shows you terrain. They're very, very different. So art is imitation because you're choosing what to take, what to leave out, and what to aspect. It's a form of discovering truth through lies.